Howdy, folks. Welcome, one and all, to another wonderful live broadcast, another part of my documentary of a one man build. One man builds his own house, and it's a 3,500 square foot house with a 3,200 square foot garage. So you know, it's a year and a half, 2 year project. It is what it is. I'm here posting my comments now. My usual welcome, folks. And feel free to comment as always, on Facebook, on Hobby Unboxed on Facebook. The Javier Mazueta Facebook page doesn't send me the StreamYard doesn't send me the comments from that page. So if you're watching it there, subscribe to Hobby Unboxed or not, or go to my YouTube channel, Hobby Unboxed, and all those comments get to me there. So, as mentioned in the comments, I have got Encanto songs in my head. I'm just double checking the work that I did just before I went to sleep, or rather just before I took off, because at night when you're tired, or despite the fact you want to get ahead, and I'm ahead, I just want to make sure it all fits into place. So now, continuing the process, I have to continue this wall all the way down. So I'm doing another 10-foot section here because doing two 10-foot sections for 20 lineal feet takes a lot less time, as I've learned, than from the initial. I did two walls in the beginning, and they were each 16 feet. And it was a nightmare because I had to raise them on ratchets, and I have a pulley there, so I raised the wall on the pulley because I don't have any help. So and then dragging it over, it was brutal. Do what you can handle, do it in pieces. They all get tied up on the top anyway, so no biggie. And of course, I'm out of Diet Coke, so I'll have to do that. I'll have to check that. Okay, so here we go. Feel free to comment, folks, if you guys like. I am going to cut a bunch more 105-inch of these things. The height is, well, the height of the block is 9'4", but it's a little bit less than 9'4". If I go by the height of the ceiling is I think it's 9'3" or 9'2½", something like that, which turns out to be 111 inches. All right, so we're looking at 111 inches. So 105 inches plus 1, 2, 3, then 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, 2x4s. That's 1.5 inches each. That's 4.5. That puts it at 109.5. Then you have the battens, which are a furring strip 3/4 inch in between the trusses and the wall. So we're looking at approximately 110.5 inches, give or take, because the wall, some areas it varies a 1/4 inch here or there. I mean, the trusses are not by any means it's wood, so it sags a little over time. Not too much because they're trusses, but it does stretch and bottom line is I wanted to make sure that I had a gap. Some of you have heard this before, some of you haven't, in between this and the roof, because if you set all the trusses, these are non-load-bearing interior walls. The load-bearing ones, all the weight goes on them, clearly. The non-load-bearing walls, you don't want the weight on them because everything tends to move, and the way it's engineered, it's meant to expand and contract, but not on the walls because then you'll hear pop, crack, So they get nailed in, but with just enough play that that if the trusses go up and down, and the walls go up and down, there's just a little bit of, we're talking 1/16 of an inch at the most. But that 1/16 of an inch multiplied throughout multiple walls will hear a lot of popping and cracking sounds with the change of temperature, if you've heard that in your house, if you've got a wooden house. But, and obviously this is a concrete house, but the roof is wood, the framing is wood. And that is the explanation of that. So how's everybody doing out there? I'll make sure this is even over here. And then, by the way, my dog, right from the morning, right from when she got up, she's out on the hill digging. Digging. For those of you that weren't here last time, my dog for the past 2 weeks is my wife is on her way over. Saturday to the property, and we sold the house. She's at until she finishes her contract out with her work. She's staying at home in a hotel for the week, and then heads up here, which is a beautiful thing. And summer break is a wonderful thing. She's chomping at the bit. Chomping at the bit today. But the dog had to go somewhere, and I love my little doggy, so she stays with me. She loves this place. 5 acres beats a quarter-acre lot in Miami any day. 5 acres in Central Florida is a beautiful day. So there's that. I have a huge mound in the backyard of filled sand, which she has taken to reducing to half its size already in a matter of 4 days. All she does all day is dig. I'll show you some videos eventually of her digging. You will get quite a joy out of it. Why did I get started? That's what happens when you don't think, folks. I got an exit over there and I went this way because I'm so used to the saw being from here. Something to be said for habits. Let me take a look at the comments, see if anybody's commented. Hey, Mako, good to see you. Oh, man. Mako Shark CNC. I am so looking forward to getting back to CNC. So coming up with more wonderful ideas and creative ideas to just, but, I started the project of building a house to save close to $500,000. I'm seeing it through. I'm not going to be living in half a house, that's for sure. Well, and we sold the house, so it's committed. I'm committed now. So as I was saying in my chat, in my comments, I've been listening to, if anybody hasn't seen the movie Encanto, do yourself a favor and watch it. Well, I'm a Disney fan and I'm not a Disney fan. It's a little of both. I'm a Disney fan. I used to go to Walt Disney World in Florida. 5 hours away from my home. Now I'm 40 minutes away. 5 hours away from Disney, and I would go anywhere between 6 and 15 times a year ever since I could drive. I have cousins that live out here. I would stay with them in Orlando, and it was phenomenal. I'd go with friends. I'd go in groups. I mean, the love of Disney that I grew up with. Then, like with anything else, you know, Disney's a money-making organization. You can't help it. There's everything in life, and I say it over and over, and that's the theme of my life. Everything is about balance. I don't care what you talk about, but everything is balance. Balance between good and bad, balance between, because you can't have good without bad. I'd rather have it all good, clearly. But you don't know what good is if you don't have bad, which is not to say, forget that. Balance between your work life and your play life. Balance between, balance everything. Balance in your relationships. The give and take. One person takes too much, the other person leaves. One person gives too much, the other person leaves. Because they don't value you. So many things are about balance, and Disney had a beautiful balance because, they make money. They make money hand over fist in the 70s and 80s, which is pretty much my time. And it was, I'm sure they'd make a lot of money off of me. And I'd go there, and I started cringing when their season pass, when they got the season pass, I go, oh, it's well worth it for me. The Florida season pass, it was, I think it was $75 or around $100 a year, and they had some blockout dates, but for the most part, it was fantastic. I would go to the Very Merry Christmas party, which was a unique, so what's happened? Over the years, Disney's become better and worse. It's clearly, they've become, I'll use the example of a buddy of mine, and I won't mention his name. A friend of mine had an air conditioning company. When he started out, he was a licensed air conditioning guy. I would call him up and say, hey, so-and-so, come over, I need a hand, I got a problem with the AC. I don't care what it cost, but he came over, or he sent his brother, or both of them. It was a small operation, it was personalized, it was wonderful. And half the time he wouldn't charge, but half the time he would. That's fine. I'm not, the money's not the issue. The service was incredible. And to be friends with him, even better. He got big. He got multiple units, multiple teams. And then it got to the point that he had a secretary and a crew. The number went straight to his office. The secretary doesn't know who in the world I am. Treats me like another random client. There was no personal service. Perhaps if I received a recognition, not recognition, if I was treated differently, but I was treated like a customer. Business is business. I understand business is business. But the bottom line is, I never called you again. As a friend, yeah, always. Never to service my AC. Because from a mom and pop shop, it went to the Mr. Corporate Environment, he doesn't need someone like me, that he's got to sacrifice his, it's all about balance, folks. Speaking of balance, where did I leave my tape measure? There it is. And that's what happens. And Disney, to a much larger scale, because Disney was already a huge, huge enterprise when I was going there. But it reached a point where the only way I can put it is the level of magic dimmed. The more money Disney makes, and I'm not saying this as a bad criticism, because as a businessman, I admire their almost monopoly, their enterprise. But as a family man who enjoyed all the personal touch, the customer service, I can name numerous companies like AT&T, perfect example. When it was Southern Bell, they answered their phones, all of a sudden, merger after merger after merger after merger after merger. I don't know what happened. As soon as they changed that name to AT&T, in the beginning, it was the same because it was all the small little parts working together or somewhat together. But it's gotten to the point where they've gotten so huge that I'm actually advocating against them because of the poor quality of service that I have received. I would say for about 15 years, and I've tried to give them chances and tried to go back, whether it's through any one of their services. I won't mention the individual services, but whether it's, I'll mention, whether it's TV, internet, or cell phone, I've tried. Nope. Every time. And good luck trying to cancel without losing your valuable time. When you get older, as I am, time is the most valuable asset. I mean, when you're young, you run around in the rat race, everything is wonderful. And as you get older, I'm 57, I'm not that old. At least I don't see myself that old. But time is the asset that is, as everybody's mentioned, in finite supply. It is the one I value the most, next to my family. If you call them an asset, I just call them part of my life. But I'll tell you, I spend a lot of time talking to people. I spend a lot of time in conversation, and I spend a lot of time on ridiculous phone calls. I never, ever mind talking to a friend, talking to a family member. Oh my God, I would consider it an honor just to sit and have lunch with, for instance, Lin-Manuel Miranda or Neil Degrass Tyson, which I mentioned, just for an hour. I would love it. I would value their time, but I would get, now. But when it comes to certain corporations, I'm not talking Disney. Now I'm back on AT&T. When it comes to certain corporations, I feel they don't value me because they certainly do not value my time. At least the way the company is structured. Everything, again, back to balance, everything is on their side to make money. Nothing is on the customer service side. Disney, for years, for years, had this beautiful balance of servicing the customer and making money. I'd be glad to shovel out hundreds of dollars, and I knew that every time I went to Disney, oh, and I've been there often. Since October of '72, I easily have gone probably 500 times, easily. Well, but I haven't been there in the last 12 years, 15 years. It's changed. I'm talking about the park, not the company, not the movie studio, not the, you gotta separate the parts. But There we go. I don't know why it was off. But I'm back. All right, so folks, I'll be right back. Let me see what's. I'll be right back. And I'm feeling it. Pressure like a drip, drip, drip that never stops. Whoa. Yeah, like I said, like I was saying earlier, huge fan of going. My tongue is tied. Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I truly feel, as mentioned in the comments, if he and Neil Degrass Tyson got together, I know Neil's looking for the theory of everything. Well, I don't know if he's looking for it, but everybody has this hope that, and then it just. Every time I either watch a video about either the making of Encanto or the movie itself or one of the Disney behind the scenes videos, it's like an onion. It peels off another layer, another layer, another layer. You're talking to somebody that's 36 years in choir and all his whole life in music. I mean, clarinet since the 4th grade and playing keyboards since high school. And so just blows my mind. Blows my mind. The emotion that gets stirred up inside watching this movie. And I'm not talking about the plot. The plot is great. The plot is a Disney plot. It's fantastic. I'm talking about a whole new level of perception in the music. I connect with the music on a level that I am as of yet unaware. It's the only way I can put it. Latin background? Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Like I said, 57 years in this country. So I grew up on Sesame Street and Schoolhouse Rock and patriotism and Americana, but the heritage is Latin, is Cuban, so there's something in the blood. I was born in Spain and I got here when I was 2 months old, so, you know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but there is something incredible about that music. I'm feeling this way now. It could change later, you know, newness, whatever. But I don't think so. I think it's. I think I'm onto something. I really do. a little warm out here today, I gotta say. How's everybody doing out there in the land of the land of the learners, I like to call it, because you're either creating, teaching, or learning, or entertaining. On the other half, you're entertaining and you're being entertained. I've been all of the above. I have no criticisms for anybody, whatever level you're at. There was a time where I was a little, I don't want to call it, I guess I could call it elitist or snobbish, and thought that the beginning of the internet was people sitting around doing nothing. Kids playing games out of their parents being unproductive. You know what? You get older and you appreciate everything, every level of you know. As long as you are, to a certain degree, committed to what you do. Now, clearly, I applaud people that do stuff more than people that don't do stuff. But that is not to say anybody's valueless. Because for every YouTuber that is teaching something, there is a person that's learning something. For every YouTuber that is sitting playing a game, there's another YouTuber interested in watching him play. So, you know, as what was it? See a need, fill a need. Robots. I was trying to remember the movie. That was a great little flick. See a need, fill a need. Mel Brooks. Yeah, I know. I should build a bigger jig, and so I can so this is easier on me. And I will. You know what, right now, taking my time, enjoying the build. Enjoying the company. Speaking of company, let me see how you guys are doing out there. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this table. It's in the way. It's in the way. At least for now. Whoa. Watching if you guys ever saw the behind the scenes of the actors, that's one of my favorite parts to watch. For cartoonists, the voice actors. I'm a huge fan of Michael, oh God, I don't want to get this wrong. It's Rosenbaum, I believe. But I could be wrong. He is the voice of the Flash. No, Lex Luthor. He's the voice of a lot of people. He played Lex Luthor in Smallville. In fact, I saw an interview. He's got a podcast, which is fantastic as well. He interviews a bunch of people. And another voice actor, which, oh my God, if I had his voice, it would, it's Kevin Conroy. He's the voice of Batman in the animated series. Incredible. Some people have just incredible voices for God-given gifts as they were, or partially God-given, partial nature, partial partial practice to no end. Because let me tell you, I've done. There was a Chuck E. Cheese-like place called Dandy Bear. There used to be 4 locations. They were down to 3 locations, then 1, and then the last one in Kendall closed. And it was like a Chuck E. Cheese. I was the voice of the main character, Dandy Bear. Hi, boys and girls, it's Dandy Bear. I had a blast recording in that studio. The stories of your youth is fantastic. It was a lot of fun, a lot of silliness, and a lot of memories, Okay, this goes to that one. How am I going to do that? I got to bring it out this way. So, yeah. Once I have a basic square, then everything else is easy. But until then, it's a little on the difficult side. I have mixed feelings between. Hey, good to see you, Dave. Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was just thinking exactly what you're saying. I was just thinking, I've got a fan here. I've got a nice big carpet fan that will very nicely cool me off, but it's loud, and I'm really enjoying for the moment the sounds of nature. Which is not to say that I won't enjoy a cool, fresh breeze, so I'll definitely succumb to the fan noise soon. But it's hotter than normal today. I really want to get a lot done. Taking great care so as not to aim a nail gun into my hand. But I'm enjoying myself here. So as I mentioned in the comments, and I'll mention it again, I'm a huge fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda lately, because I really enjoyed the soundtrack of Encanto. And let me tell you, I'm not, as I posted, I wouldn't normally be a fan. And, okay, of that genre. When the Hamilton play first came out, I'm thinking to myself, they ruined Hamilton, or rather, well, not that there was ever a Hamilton, I'm just saying, my Hamilton, my past Hamilton opinion or knowledge was strictly, what was taught to me in history books and just the plain, watered down version of, I did very little about it. And then, and what did I know? I know that while I enjoy Sugar Hill Gang and Rapper's Delight, that type of rap, I really don't enjoy gangster rap I was not a fan of that type of music. It wouldn't have been my preference. Then the play comes over, and then my kids are addicted to the play, singing the songs all the time. So I go, okay, let me watch it. And I didn't see it live, obviously. I saw it on YouTube, because while I like or don't like it, I have a certain opinion about certain things. One place I will never go back to is New York. Been there 3 times, and it's just, that's the reason I moved out here. It's too crowded. Anyway. However, if Hamilton came to a theater near me, I'd definitely go. Now, did I like the play? After my initial, I would call it bigoted, or not bigoted, but thick-headed, whatever you want to call it, response, thick-headed opinions, predispositions about it. I was predisposed. There's a word for it, right? It just doesn't come to mind. But after that, all of a sudden, it was just phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. The songs stick in your head. You enjoy them. You tell a story. Now, I will say, there are some people that take it to an extreme, like I take Star Trek to an extreme, or it's not my extreme cup of tea. But then Encanto came along. I'm saying it with an American accent. Encanto came along, and it was just, oh my God! I don't know what it is about that movie. I'm hooked. I'm addicted. Can't get out of my head. Well, I don't want to say addicted. Clearly, I'm not addicted. It's just there's an element of some of those particular songs that blow me away, and I can't explain the feeling. Can't explain it. Have you ever heard a song, folks? I don't care from where. Have you ever heard a song that has connected with you? I don't want to say created emotions, because it's not about creating emotions. Yeah, I don't know, it hasn't. Other than a love for the song, I don't have any emotions as a result of the song. It's a deep appreciation of the point counterpoint, of the melodies, of all that's going on in your mind at the same time. It's like if you read a book or you read a play or you see a movie that I've seen a few movies that, like the first time I saw Mission Impossible, oh my God, this is incredible. Oh, so that's what happened. You know? And layer upon layer upon layer. That just, you know, the aha moments. I continue feeling that every time I hear the song Encanto. It's still new to me. I'll put it this way. We don't talk about Bruno, that song. Other songs in the past, I would have sung it, I would have enjoyed it, and got bored of it. Because when we know something, it's human nature to get, I don't want to call it bored, but it's no longer new. The newness is worn off. There are so many layers in this song that, and I've been listening to it and hearing it in my head for so long, the newness is not worn off. I haven't had a song where the newness is not worn off in so long that it's just, I really appreciate it. You know? That's all I have to say about that. Okay, I need 82 inches for the two jack studs. For those of you that have seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. For those of you that have seen it and just don't get it, I understand. And for those of you that don't want to see the movie, all I can say is, look, when you get to be my age, there's two ways to go. You can sit around and do the same things you've done all your life. Sit around and, you know, and be comfortable. I get that. Comfort is good. I have nothing against comfort. I have nothing against sitting around doing the same thing over and over and over, because a lot of my life is like that. I mean, I am very comfortable with a lot of different things. And comfort is good. That's how a lot of marriages stay together, believe it or not. But there's another level. There's another level of marriages staying together. Because a lot of times that's how marriages fall apart, is when people just try something new. Well, guess what? It doesn't have to be that way. Because trying something new, expanding your horizons, whatever you want to call it, keeps you young. It keeps you young. It's invigorating. When you're young, why do you enjoy youth? Here's my philosophical point. Why do you enjoy youth? You enjoy youth because, more than anything else, everything is new. There's a point in the teens where things stop being new, and all of a sudden, it's the I'm bored phase. I've seen it in my kids. Thank God they grew up. I've seen it well. Tell us it's square. And so I can appreciate learning new things. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's learning something new, oftentimes there comes a point where you just say, you know what? I'm bored. And it happens. How do you prevent it from happening? The secret is to keep your mind open. Remember, sometimes new things are, sometimes new things are comfortable, sometimes new things are uncomfortable. When new things are comfortable, it's because they're not as new as you thought. There's a familiarity to it. When new things are uncomfortable, well, that's truly a new thing. And guess what? Get used to it. You may find you don't like it. Understood? I don't like broccoli. I don't care how many times I try it. Can't stand it. I didn't like celery and lettuce, but I tried it. Forced myself to eat it for a while. This is in my youth. And hey, all of a sudden I started loving it. 41 inches is what it should be, but I shall double check because we were taught to measure twice and cut once. This is indeed incorrect, I think. Why do I have 40? Oh, well. Those are wrong. Wow. That is so far off, it's not even funny. 3 inches off. See that, folks? See that? I'm glad I didn't nail it all in completely. All right, so this. One. Unless this should be 6 inches. You know, David was saying earlier, I should get a fan. This is what happens when you overheat. You think about too many things and you're not paying attention. I'm going to have to redo this. See, I even I double checked it. Last night, I went through all the measurements, and I found them all to be correct, and I did all my marks on here. And today, I went through all of them and double-checked them, and they were correct. Yet I have a 45-inch. I was about to erase what was not a mistake. I double-checked them twice, and I just realized there's no door here. This is a hallway opening, and it's 6 inches wider. I'm going, why is this 6 inches wider? Because I just finished cutting the top, which I can use on another door, because all my doors are 3 foot. All my doors are 3-inch. That's 36 inches. Which means you have the 2 jack studs bringing it out to 39 inches, right? But, actually no, that's incorrect. 36-inch door means you need a 38-inch rough opening. 38-inch rough opening means you need a 3-inch and 3-inch, 41-inch from king stud to king stud. Then the 2 jack studs will bring it down to 38 inches, and there's your opening. And I'm going, that doesn't make any sense. Because 41 inches from here to here should be 41 inches for a normal door. Guess what? It's not a normal door, it's just an opening. Ah, thank goodness. All I need to do is cut the right one. And I already cut one. No, actually, I measured it, but I haven't cut it. That's, yeah. But that one, if I would have cut it, I could use it for anything I want. Wow. There we go. 40, should be 45, but it's 43 and 43. Oh, I know why. I hit it right on the money. It's 43 and 3/4. I included, I did a 3'6" opening with 5/8 and 5/8. So 3'6" and 5/8 and 5/8 would be 37 1/4, and this is, sorry, not 37 1/4, 41 3/4. Guess what? It's 41 3/4. Exactly what it should be. So 44 3/4. What I gotta cut it to. You know, gotta watch yourself. Almost a split. Bingo! As Leslie Nielsen would say in The Naked Gun. Great. $21 1/4. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. See how the comments are rolling over there, folks. And I am going to hook up my fan now, because it's getting a little unbearable. Hey, Steve. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh. Okay. Well, folks, there's quite a few of you watching. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a live a little later. I'm just going to take this time to just do plain raw video. So thank you all for watching. I will finish this up, and perhaps the next wall, you guys will see me raise it up live later this afternoon. Have a good one. Thanks again for coming.